So what happens to your breathing whenever you go into a panic attack?
I just feel like I'm gasping for air.
Are you?
I can't breathe enough.
Okay. And then what's going on elsewhere in your body?
Well, you know, my heart feels like it's like really pounding, and I get shaky, and my hands start to get actually numb sometimes.
Do they?
My head spins.
Mm-hmm. So you're describing the symptoms that most people get when they go into a panic attack, and this breathing change for many people seems to be the main thing that sets off a cascade of other things changing in your body, like the dizziness and numbness in your hands and so forth. And from research, we found that if people can learn how to manage that breathing change, that then they can sometimes stop these panic attacks right in their tracks. So that's what we're going to try to do today,
Okay.
is to focus on this breathing and learning ways to bring it back to more of a normal rate. So when you look at my breathing now, I don't think I'm too anxious right now. And what's the breathing look like as you see it today?
It's barely noticeable.
Right. And I'm seeing the same thing with you right now. You don't look too anxious. And
That's true.
yeah, you're not breathing heavily or irregularly. And how about the rate of breathing when we're calm, like we are right now? What do you think that might be? How many breaths do we take a minute?
Maybe 20?
20? That might be a little higher than most people take. I'd suspect it's more like 15 or 16.
Oh.
So that means that we probably take a breath roughly 1 every 4 seconds when we're feeling calm and not particularly anxious. And one of the lessons that we've learned from all this research and clinical work with people that have panic attacks is that if you can bring that breathing back down to the same rate and same depth that when we're feeling calm and at rest, then that can break the panic attack. So that's really what we're going to try to do today. And the trick really is learning how to take the breathing that's getting out of control and getting real fast and deep and bring it back to that level.
Okay.
So to show you what we might do, I'm going to try to simulate what happens when people go into a panic attack. And I want you to just take a look at that and observe it, and then we'll go from there. So let's assume that I'm feeling reasonably good, but for some reason or another I begin to feel panicky. So here we go. Okay, so what did you see happening here?
Well, I can hear you breathing.
Yeah.
And it's really noticeable now.
Right. Anything close to what happens when you go into a panic attack?
I actually don't think it's as bad. I mean, I think I breathe harder, but
You mean you breathe harder than I was doing?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we could practice that later so we can see what happens when you go into a panic attack.
Yeah.
But for now, before we do that, what we might do is try to practice moving from that heavy, deep, irregular breathing back down to the normal rate of breathing.
Okay.
And one thing that I do, I wear a wristwatch. You don't wear one, do you?
Not usually,
Okay,
no.
but you could use a phone, and you could put it on your clock feature and track the rate of breathing. And so what I do is just look at my watch, and I try to bring that rate back down to 1 breath in and out about every 4 seconds.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm going to try to show you right now and how I break that panic attack. And another thing that I'm going to do, and you might see me sort of changing the way I look, is I'm going to, after I slow the breathing down, I'm going to try to bring some images into my mind that are real calming.
Okay.
And the image that I can use is walking along a beach on a really beautiful day with my family, not a care in the world. I'm not concerned about my to-do list or anything that I might be worried about. It's just a really nice day, and I'm feeling very calm inside. And that's something that that can help people manage these panic attacks, to couple the breathing management with some images that further calm the breathing and calm your anxiety. Is that something that you've done before? Use
No,
any kind of positive
never.
imagery?
Never.
Okay, so we might need to practice it to get to the point where we could put it into action to help you with the anxiety.
But it sounds nice.
But I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay? So
Okay.
here we go. And now I'm remembering to slow my breathing. And in the beginning, I might take a deep breath or two just to break the cycle, but then I'm going to begin to slow it down.
Okay.
And again, it might take a few cycles to get to where we want to go. And now I'm going to focus on a calming image coming into my mind. So there we go. And I did this pretty quickly, and I've done this before, and I could actually breathe real heavily and probably throw myself into something pretty close to a panic attack, and then change that by focusing on the breathing and then the positive imagery.
Okay.
But it's something that does take practice. So I wondered if you could do some of this between sessions and give it a try yourself, and maybe take a few of these deep breaths like you would be going into a panic attack, and then focus on reducing the rate of breathing and bring it back down to a relatively normal rate and evoking one of these positive images.
Yeah, I could try that.
Okay. And if you're going to have a positive image, can you think of something you might use now?
Yeah, there's like this place when we used to go up to camp, like in the woods. It's just like really peaceful and
I
really
can see it calms you
quiet
now
and-
just thinking about it for a moment here.
Yeah.
Okay, so give that a try and see how it goes. And if it goes well, great. You can begin to use it if you feel yourself getting really anxious, or it's the beginnings of a panic attack. It's something that you could use for this trip you have to take to go across the river on a bridge. It's coming up pretty soon. You're going to go with your coworkers. So if you practice it a few times, you're going to have that skill build up when it's ready to be used.
I will practice.
Okay, good deal.